Welcome to the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. They do it all at 108th and Kedzie. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver.
Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Pointless Exercise podcast. We had to do, I had to do an emergency podcast because the Bears drafted a white defensive back. And so it's a little known codicil in the Discipio Media Ventures Constitution that when the Bears draft a white defensive back, it requires an emergency podcast. So the 25th pick of the first round in the 2026 draft, the Bears took Dillon Thieneman, safety from Oregon, not Oregon, Illinois, Oregon territory, state, trail. He's a transfer from Purdue. But I guess, if you were smart enough to leave, that's probably fine. One stat I already heard about him was that he led Purdue in tackles his freshman year with 106. When your safety makes 106 tackles, things aren't going well. I think he probably was that the year that they had like the 52-51 loss to Illinois? Or he probably had 45 tackles in that game. He obviously feels a need because the Bears do have two safeties. They have Kobe Bryant, and they have not that Kobe Bryant. This one's alive. He's, as far as I know, never been in a helicopter. And they brought back Elijah Hicks, so they need a safety. Pretty bad. Could have gone a lot of ways in the first round. I don't know if you know this, but there are players available to draft at every position. But they decided to go for safety. Thieneman is from Westfield, Indiana. I don't know. Is that close to Hammond? Is he there to help him move into the new stadium? That could be. Kevin Warren's like, do your parents have a garage? Maybe a shed? We need to keep blocking sleds in it for a while till we open the new place. So I'm looking at the Beast. I was watching for the second year in a row, I was watching the Athletic Football Show's live coverage of the draft. And it's pretty good. It's pretty impressive to see those guys sit there and talk in depth about every player and not have notes. I guess Dane Brugler has his laptop in front of him, but for all I know, he's playing one of those games where you like pop the bubbles. Just a bunch of guys who have clearly a good idea of what they're talking about, as opposed to whatever grab ass is being played over on ESPN. They do the ABC one this year. I remember it was how many years ago was it when they did the ABC one is when Tom Rinaldi was still at ESPN, and it was like the game day guys. I think Fowler might have even still been there, and maybe it was Reese. I don't know, but Bill Simmons was complaining about ESPN's coverage of the draft because it was all stories about how the player got picked third and his mother had been crushed in a U-Haul fell on her when he was 4 and all that. He didn't realize that was like the touchy-feely broadcast and he could have just watched the regular one on ESPN. It's not like he worked there for 10 years. Why would he have any idea how that would work? But anyway, watch that. So I pulled up the Beast so we can go through it and look at the great Dillon Thieneman, a white defensive back, the first Bear white defensive back since Chris Conte, maybe? I don't know. I'm sure there were more. A lot of good ones. Adam Archuleta, he was great. Terry Schmidt was a corner, but you go back to not that long ago, and they had Doug Plank and Gary Fensick. Nobody complained about that. That was only 40 years ago. They were great. Actually, for Plank, it was farther than that. So anyway, guys, from Westfield, Indiana. He's 21.7 years old. Do we need 21? He's 21 and a half. Went to Westfield High School. Good for him. He was a 1-year starter at Oregon and a 3-year starter overall. He was a hybrid safety in former defensive coordinator Tosh Lupoy's, didn't say that right at all, scheme, and wore a variety of hats. Oh, God. I would stick with the helmet. I mean, that seems like headwear of choice if you're a football player. A variety of hats. Deep middle. I don't even know what that means. Is that a hat? It seems like a position. Robber. He's got a criminal record. Nickel, etc. Etc. I like that. A productive post safety at Purdue. He played the post. He was guarding. Who's the big 7'5" guy that they had? The one that with the big forehead. That was a basketball team. Sorry. For 2 seasons, transferred to Eugene for his junior season and earned a 2025 All-American nod for the Ducks with both of his interceptions clinching victories late in the game. Well, he had 2. That's nice. College, it's hard to intercept passes in college. A lot easier in the pros. It'll be fine. Collected more than 300 combined tackles in 3 college seasons and averaged 7.9 tackles per start. Seems like a lot. Good. With his open field athleticism, Thieneman has a lot to offer in the NFL because of his versatility, making plays over the top in coverage or downhill versus the run. Shows impressive range and anticipation from the deep half of the field, as well as the intelligence to understand what opponents are trying to do. Nice. Although he doesn't always play up to his testing numbers, he can guard both sidelines and sort through routes. He can clean up some things in the run game, too. He has a nose for the ball, and he doesn't hesitate flying to the contact point. He can fly. Now, I think that would really help if you could actually fly. So good. Why was he the 25th pick? They got a dude that can fly. Here's Dane Brugler's takeaway. Thieneman reminds me of Justin Reed because of his scheme-friendly recognition skills and eagerness to get busy as a run defender. Justin Reed also, in an emergency, kicks extra points and field goals for the Chiefs. So I hope Dillon does that because Cairo likes to. There's a guy who enjoys pulling a quad every year. He projects as a durable NFL starter and his versatility that should appeal to a variety of defensive structures. Well, clearly it appealed to Dennis Allen because the Bears got him. Here's his strengths. Versatile athlete who can make an impact from the back end. Back end of the defense. Never mind. Near the box or as a nickel. Sees things quickly and attacks without hesitation. Has the ability to stay in phase and position himself in coverage to contest windows. You got to stay in phase. It's important. Sorts through route movements quickly to match, redirect, and close space. He has good hands and hand-eye coordination to finish interceptions, both of them. Closes quickly in the run game when he hits his stride. Feel for navigating around traffic to find the ball carrier. That's good. Which one? There he is. Can set your watch by his tackle production. That's not how you set a watch. You have to do that by. Typically, you find a clock that's accurate, not somebody's tackle production. I don't even know how that would work. 7+ tackles in 29 of his 39 career starts. Reliable football character. He was a game captain 4 times in 2025. Developed toughness and maturity as the youngest of 3 boys. Okay, whatever. Played on punt coverages all 3 years in college and was often the first man down the field. Oh, good. He's the gunner. Good. Weaknesses. Oh, no. Adequate size with a muscular frame, but appears maxed out physically. Oh, well, that's too bad. Mediocre burst and hip turn when covering downfield corners at posts. Oh, that doesn't seem like that would be an issue. No, that's fine. Better stride acceleration than initial twitch when covering crossers. Okay, so that means he speeds up as he goes. It seems like most people do that. Arrives hot as a tackler, which leads to inconsistent angles from depth. Cool. And gets in trouble when he plants and catches contact instead of driving through a tackler. See the 2025 Indiana tape. And Indiana beat him by 1,000 points. There's more. Here's the good stuff. Dane goes deep. Dillon Thieneman, pronounced Thieneman. Isn't it Thieneman? Yeah, Thieneman. Third of 4 children. 3 brothers. So the little brother was picking on him too? Jesus. No, 2 older brothers. I'm confused. I'm just going to keep reading because I don't know. Born and raised in the Indianapolis area by his parents, Ken and Shannon. So reach out to Ken and Shannon and congratulate him. Send him a card. Maybe an edible arrangement. Or an arrangement of edibles. He has two older... Is that probably not legal in Indiana? Nothing's legal in Indiana. He has two older brothers who walked down at Purdue and became scholarship safeties. Whoa. Jake played from 2014 to 2018. Brennan played from 2016 to 2020 on all those great Purdue teams. His father earned an engineering degree from Purdue and created Thieneman Construction. Oh, this is a red flag. Oh, no. His father earned an engineering degree from Purdue and created Thieneman Construction in 1999. Do you need an engineering degree to start a construction company? I don't know that you do. Neil Armstrong, dad isn't. Dillon's younger sister, okay, so two older brothers and a younger sister. Kira is currently enrolled at Purdue, and his mother attended Indiana. Well, I'm glad. Did you write all that down? Because it's very important to know where his siblings and parents went to college. With two athletic older brothers, Dillon Thieneman grew up playing sports and was always competing. He started playing flag football as a running back for St. Maria Goretti. I hope that's a team and not, is that an actual saint? Was she like the coach? That would be something. An actual saint. You're going to get to be a saint if you die, all right? Oh, that took a tragic turn. Before moving up to tackle football. Oh, good that he played tackle football because that's his new job. That's good. As a running a tackle football and starring on both sides of the ball. His favorite player growing up was Troy Polamalu. Oh, well, hopefully he grows the hair. That'll be fun. Thieneman was also a standout baseball and basketball player. Oh, God, Boog. Shambi's going to love this if he gets a chance to talk about it. Nobody's more impressed than Boog that pro athletes were good at another sport or two. It seems to amaze him that the best athletes in every school were good at more than one sport. Well, it's such an oddity. He started focusing on his athletic training in middle school. He has a serious girlfriend. Sorry, ladies or fellas. Greta Siegert, a Purdue cheerleader. Oh. Good for him. Thieneman enrolled at Westfield High School, just north of Indianapolis, where he was a 4-year varsity starter. After making an immediate impact as a freshman cornerback, he also played some running back on the JV. Why do we need to know this? Because I'm the one reading it out loud. He moved to safety as a sophomore and posted 57 tackles and 3 interceptions, while helping Westfield to a 12-2 record in appearance, losing appearance, clearly, in the 2020 Class 6A state championship game. They lost to Center Grove, and we all know how good Center Grove is. You can't beat him. Thieneman had his most productive season as a junior, again helping lead the team to a 12-win season and a spot in the 2021 title game. They're back, and they played Center Grove again, and you better believe they beat him. Nope, they didn't. They lost to him again. So let's just hope Center Grove isn't on the Bears schedule, because Dillon is not going to be able to help if that's the case. He earned all-state honors as a junior, 106 tackles, just like he did at Purdue as a freshman. 3 forced fumbles, 2 blocked punts, and 1 interception. It's good to know a pro football player was good at football in high school, because I would have never suspected. As a senior captain in 2022, Thieneman saw snaps on offense at receiver and again earned all-state honors as a senior, as Westfield made another playoff appearance. Did they lose to Center Grove again? God, I hope not. I can't take the tension. Oh, we don't know. They must not have gone as far. He was named Indiana's 2022 Mr. Football at defensive back. Thieneman also ran track as a junior at Westfield, posting personal bests of 7.25 in the 60. I don't know. I guess that's good. 11.40 in the 100. 23 flat in the 200. And 21 feet 2 inches in the long jump. I'm glad we know this. 3-star recruit. Thieneman was the 85th ranked safety in the 2023 class and the number 14 recruit in Indiana. Oh, that doesn't seem very good. He received his first offers after his sophomore season from Marshall and Purdue in June of 2021. After his productive junior season, Thieneman added offers from several Big Ten schools, including Indiana, Minnesota, and Northwestern, and the MAC, Ball State, Central Michigan, and Toledo. Clearly went to Purdue because he couldn't hack it in the MAC. Because of his family ties to Purdue, he had grown up dreaming of playing for the Boilers. Oh, that's sad. And Thieneman committed to former head coach Jeff Brom in June of 2022. And Brom said, fuck it, I'm out of here. I don't want to coach this kid. So Brown left for the head coaching job at Louisville a week before signing day. But Thieneman stayed committed to Purdue after Ryan Walters, former safety, and a former University of Illinois defensive coordinator and a terrible head coach, was hired to be the new head coach. He had a freshman All-American season in 23, but Walters was fired after Purdue finished 1-11 in 2024, and Thieneman, can't play without the great Ryan Walters, left for the transfer portal. Received plenty of interest from the SEC and other programs, but decided to stay in the Big Ten, which is still weird to me. That Oregon's I know they're in the Big Ten, but it's like, oh, stay in the Big Ten, I'll go to Oregon. Yeah, whatever. Thieneman was a 2025 academic All-American, and after one season in Eugene, he elected to skip his senior season and enter the NFL draft. So there you go. That's everything you would ever need to know about Dillon Thieneman. The Bears need a safety, and he was a good player. The Athletic guys, very surprised he was still around, and pretty much all on board. The furry little guy, I can't think of his name, the one who's going to marry Carmi Vitale, is that her name? He was the only one who's like, there's lots of safeties in this draft. Why wouldn't you take an edge in the first round and then get your safety? You got 2 picks in the second round. Why wouldn't you get your safety then? And Dane hit him with his laptop, which I've never seen Dane get that mad. And he basically said, do you want a B+ safety or a B- edge? And I think we know the answer to that, which is whatever you say, Mr. Brugler, don't hit me in the head with your laptop. So they got him. 1 down and however many to go. Defense completely fixed. We know it's the Super Bowl season for the Bears. It's just all they're doing in this draft is picking guys who are going to get Super Bowl rings. It's like the coolest thing. Just, the Bears pick you, and in February, you're going to get the confetti cannons up your butt. It's going to be fun. Am I going to do one of these after every pick? No. But decided to do it after the first round. It's very special. First round picks under Ryan Poles have been pretty good. What is it? It's Darnell Wright, Caleb Williams, Rome, Colson Loveland, and then this guy. So we got that going for us, which is nice. All right. The other thing, other big news today, the Cubs have won 9 in a row, which is good, but that's not the biggest Cub news. The biggest Cub news is that Nicky Lopez is back, for some reason. I don't know why. I guess they've looked at the great Scott Kingery and decided that literally anything would be an upgrade. But it gives us a chance. I don't know if Nicky's going to come right to the Cubs or he's going to go to Iowa. I don't know what he's going to do. But it gives us a chance to look at his spray chart from last year again, which is the best one ever. It's over here. If you're watching this, that's it. Is it a spray chart when there's only 1 hit on it for an entire season? I guess technically it is. So Nicky's back. Cash considerations. I was asked what we thought they paid for him, and it's got to be $1, don't you think? Whatever the least you can literally pay a team for. He was with the Rockies. And I don't think he didn't. Did he? I don't even think he made the Rockies, which not a great sign. He does have a headshot with the Rockies though. He's got the hat on. No, he did not. He did not make the Rockies. Is that a bad sign? That's not a bad sign. No, that's fine. He was in Albuquerque, tearing it up in Albuquerque. 333, 387, 519 with a homer, 8 RBIs, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 54 at-bats. I did find it a curious move. I mean, I think if you're going to be trading for anybody right now, it would be bullpen, considering somebody gets hurt every day. And today it was Caleb Thielbar, who, the 38-year-old closer. I know he's only closing because Daniel Palencia is on the injured list. But it seemed like you're really pressing your luck to keep trotting Caleb out there. And he gave up a homer and gave up the lead. And then the next pitch, couple pitches later, I thought he blew out his arm, but it looks like he grabbed it just below his butt. So it looks like it's a hammy, which isn't great, but it's certainly better than that. And I do kind of wonder if they've just decided maybe they could do a little better than Scott Kingery on the bench. And the last podcast we did, the one with Oleg Perez, I tried to lay out this. I twisted myself into knots. I do, and I still think, I know Shaw, he played center field today. Oh, well, that's good. I do think that if they really want to play Matt Shaw in the outfield and at first base, that it wouldn't kill him to send him to Iowa for like 2 or 3 weeks and just have him play the outfield and first base like every day just to get comfortable with it and then bring him back. And I even had a replacement for him, which would be to bring, first was going to be Kevin Alcantara to come up and he could play in the, he could play right field on the days when Seiya needs to DH, or like today when Seiya just doesn't want to catch fly balls. And then they could switch him back, and then maybe they could. We don't really need, when you have Shaw, you don't really need Kingery because you already got a guy, an infield backup. Maybe the great Johnny Long, who could take some at bats. If Michael Busch is going to struggle, although Michael Busch hit a homer off a lefty today, so he's fixed. I mean, it's not like Michael Busch will hit. He's 2 homers in 2 days now. I'm sure this isn't one of those where he hits like 7 homers in 5 games and then doesn't hit another one for 2 months. We've never seen that before. But Kingery actually got to play the other night. He came in early and he had to play some third base, and he spent most of his time throwing the ball either into right field or the stands. And he's not good. Like he's literally not a good baseball player. And his one skill seems to be that he can play in he's fast. That he can pinch run. I don't know how valuable that really is. I think you probably want a bench guy that can play. I could tell you that we've seen Nicky Lopez before, and he can't. Could they be bringing up the great Pedro Ramirez, who's tearing it up in Iowa, and then Nicky can just take his spot at Iowa? No, that's not what they're doing. You're not going to bring the kid up and then sit him on the bench. Although he is off to a very nice start. So far in Iowa, the 22-year-old, 333, 396, 678, 7 homers, 27 RBIs. What do I always say? Everybody hits in Iowa. They do. He does look like he's going to be a pretty nice little player, though. May allow you to trade the great Matt Shaw at some point. I don't know. But anyway, the Cubs, first place now. Although I guess, wait. I didn't check to see if the Pirates won. Or the Reds. No, it's the Reds that they were tied with for first place. And looks like the Reds were off. So they tied. Cubs are in first place. Like all it took was a 9-game winning streak. But it worked. They were jetting off to the coast, and they're going to play the Dodgers over the weekend. Terrible news. Games, the Friday night game, tomorrow night's game is on Apple TV. Saturday's game is on Fox. I think the terrible news is, I think it's probably that Boog will be like, well, I'm not going then. Probably an Alex Cohen, and likely a non-Jim DeShays Sunday in LA. I just have a hunch that Boog and Jim are like, want to fly in LA, work one day. Yeah. Screw that. But maybe they will because they're going. Don't they go to San Diego after that? Yes. So maybe they want to go to San Diego. Who doesn't want to go to San Diego? Even in April, it's beautiful. So we will see. Cubs are showing some good signs. They've actually gotten very good pitching, even without the great Cade Horton. And then Javier Assad ended up basically playing closer, kind of. I mean, he came in a tie game in the 10th and didn't allow a run, so that was cool. I thought they would send Colin Ray to the bullpen and Javi would stay in the rotation just because Ray seems to be more of a reliever than Javier. It doesn't really matter. They're both good pitchers, and it's better to have. I would much rather have Javi in the bullpen right now than just send him to Iowa to try to stay stretched out because they need guys. They got a really the great Riley Martin got himself out of a jam that started under Thielbar. Actually, I guess it started with him because he came in and walked the guy that Thielbar left him a 2-2 count on. And then he got into 2 on and nobody out, and he got out of it. And he was very excited. He was pumping his fist, which should be. It was a huge moment to keep it tied. But they showed him in the dugout, and he had a look on his face like, I don't ever want to do that again. Why was I out there? I'm not supposed to pitch then. Jesus, Craig, leave me alone. So yeah, they're really kind of slapping a bullpen together right now. But they keep winning. That's the most important thing. So it's 9 losses in a row for the Phillies. Like, holy shit. I mean, that's way too good a team to be losing 9 in a row. It just shows how good the Cubs are, I guess. Because of those 9 losses, 6 of them are to the Cubs. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, and I think I'm going to write for either Monday or Tuesday next week about Dansby's weird season where, like, he's been pretty good at the plate for a couple of weeks now, but he's still hitting 190. Like, he's walking. He got a big hit today. He got the game-winning hit. It was a bad sign when Ian Happ was the Manfred man in the 10th, and I joked, my standard thing. I think maybe Happ could score from second on a triple. And so they walk Seiya to get to the great Carson Kelly, which is not, under normal circumstances, very good idea. Terrible idea. It's April. This is Carson Kelly's month, man. Don't fuck with Carson Kelly in April. Carson gets a single, and admittedly, it was a kind of a humpback liner. Is that a thing? But everybody knew it was going to drop in, and Happ didn't score. You're like, Jesus, what does it take to score you? But you'll be happy to know that on the single that would have been a double if they needed it, to right center, Happ was able to successfully score from third to win the game. But Dansby's doing some. His stats are very odd. You know, you typically get like the 190 hitter. It's like who can be somewhat valuable. It's like Schwarber a few years ago, or Rob Deere. I don't know how useful Rob Deere ever was, but he's hitting like 30 homers and hitting 190. Dansby is not gonna. Well, he might, I guess. I mean, Alex Cohen told us he's gonna be 30-30. He's got a long way to go for that, but it's odd. But Bush seems to have gotten his shit together, which was important because it's really hard to score runs without him. Seiya's back and now playing well. Moises Ballesteros is fucking awesome. I just love that dude. Yeah, we knew this was a good team. It's not a great team, but it's a good team, and they weren't playing like it early, and it was frustrating. And now, I don't know if they'll ever lose again. Yeah, they probably will. 3 or 4 times. All right, one last quick thing. I'm going to do it more in depth, but if you're not watching the podcast companion to my book, The Immortals, about the 2016 Cubs. That is hosted by the great David Ross and Anthony Rizzo. It's called The Lovable Reunion. It's a Colin Coward thing, I guess. I'm trying not to hold that against him. So far, let's see. They did. The first one was just Ross and Rizzo talking. That was good. Second one, the first real one then was Joe, right? Joe Madden. Then they did John Lester. Then they did Chris Bryant. And the one that just came out this week is Schwarber. And they've all been really good. And you get different emotions out of all of them. So like with the Joe one, I was very heartened by the fact that it's very clear that, and you hear it every time they interview a guy, that the players on that team know just how important it was, and like that things would not have happened the way they happened without Joe. Because there's just a lot of idiot Cub fans who can't get over the fact that they don't agree with some of the moves he made in Game 7, even though they won it. And they just want to act like he was a moron. He was a great manager and a very, very more than crucial part of them winning the World Series. But Joe tells some funny stories, and he gets into his Joe stuff where he starts giving you way too much background about something. He's got to talk about Hazleton. It's like, okay, Joe, we've heard this, but he's very entertaining. It's a really good one. The Lester one, I think, is the best one. John is a prick, but in like the best possible way. And he just talks about what a hard ass he was, but he's pretty self-effacing about it. Like, you know, he's self-aware and he can make fun of it. And, you know, Ross owes him a lot. And there is a great story in there about Lester negotiating, calling Ross at like 2:00 in the morning when John is celebrating signing with the Cubs, and basically being the intermediary as Theo, who's also at the bar, and Ross are negotiating Ross's contract. It's pretty good. They talk about a lot of they talk about a lot of stuff. They talk about him not being able to throw to first base. And how they worked around that, which really was one of the most impressive things, was the way they would play bunt defense with him. And then Rizzo has a funny story about the Tommy Pham pickoff. It's really, really good. I highly recommend it. The Chris Bryant one is really, I mean, obviously Rizzo and Bryant are great friends, and they talk too much about the whole Grandpa Rossy shit, but it was their idea. So I guess those are the two guys that need to talk about it. But it's really good, and one of the things, the most interesting thing that comes out of it is when we were all shitting our pants because KB's front foot slipped on the final ground ball, Chris knew he wasn't throwing it away. Like he was he was worried. As he started to slide, he's like, fuck it. He just let his front foot slide because he thought if he tried to plan it, then it would fuck it up. So he knew he made a good throw. But we all saw that foot slide and we're like, oh my God. And Rizzo thought the same thing. But, you know, he catches it like right in front of his face and it's all over. It's a little sad, though, when they talk to KB, because his career is basically done. And it's very clear. I mean, they don't talk about it, but the most clear thing, so they're at like this golf resort in Vegas. And at the end, they talk about how Ross and Rizzo are going golf, and it's clear Chris isn't going because he physically can't do it. And he's the active one. He's the one who's still on a major league team. But I mean, he was such a great player, and every bit as good, better actually. The rare, overly hyped prospect who showed up and was actually better than what we thought. And he should be still like he should be like towards the tail end of a Hall of Fame career, and he's not. He hasn't really been healthy since 21 when he got traded to the Giants, played really well for them, especially in the playoffs, and then he ended up signing with Colorado, and he hasn't been healthy since. And it's like 5 years now of nothing. And I don't think we're going to get any more. And that's pretty sad. Schwarber one is fun, except for, and maybe I'm the only one, he's hard to listen to. He's not inarticulate, even though he's from Indiana. He's from Ohio. He went to Indiana. He's not inarticulate, and he says funny things. There's just something about his mannerisms or his voice when he talks. And when he talks in a long form like that, you found yourself like, I'm sure it's just me, but I was like, it's just odd to listen to. But he has some funny stories. And then when he would get into the middle of a story, when he would get animated, it would even out, and it would be better. But it's still fun, and you get a lot of insight, as you would expect, into his rehab and when he figured out that he was going to be able to make it back, which is a lot later than I thought it was going to be. But there's some really good stories in there, so it's really good. Like I highly recommend it. And I don't know if they've got they did a trailer where you could see they talked to Dexter, and I think they talked to Travis Wood. They're going to talk to Addison. I don't know why. I might skip that one. They're going to talk to Lackey, which I make fun of, but it could be. There's a guy that's hard to listen to. That voice. It's like you'd almost rather listen to. Maybe we could have Bobby Kennedy Jr. dub it, because it's the same kind of gravelly shit. And he's a prick, but in a where Lester's a charming prick, Lackey's just a prick. But they're going to do Theo. They talked about that this time. There's going to be a bunch. Apparently going to do Matt Caesar. Okay. That could be 10 minutes, but, it'll be fine. Anyway, so I highly recommend them. And, they are it's really great. They came to me and they said, we love your book and we'd like to do a podcast companion to it. And we don't want you to be involved in it. And I said, that's fine. And we're not going to promote your book, but everybody knows that really it's the podcast companion to the Immortals. So when you watch these, if you don't have a copy of the book, just, you go to pointlessexercise.com. There's a little link at the top, or go to discipio.com/books and you can just order the book, and pick it up, and relive it all, because we're probably never going to get another one. This is how committed the Cubs are to winning. They got outbid for Lucas Giolito for the Padres. He signed for $3 million, and they got outbid. Yeah. I don't have any problem with them not getting Lucas Giolito, but if you wanted him and you let a $3 million offer from the Padres, it doesn't bode well for going forward at the deadline. Jed can still prove me wrong, but a little scary. But anyway, Cubs Dodgers this weekend. They don't face Shohei, and they don't face Yoshinobu Yamamoto, so that's good. I'm sure they'll sweep. The Dodgers have lost. They won today. I'm recording this on the first night of the draft, Thursday. But they had lost 4 of 6 before that. 2 of them to the Rockies and 2 of them to the Giants. And the Giants, who I picked as a playoff team, have not played like it at all. So get them. Get those Dodgers while they're down. All right, we'll be back on Tuesday with, presumably, with Oleg and Praz. This should have been a Dave Brown week, and I didn't get it scheduled because I'm a moron. So we have to get Dave scheduled, and it's time to bring Sam back. So there's going to be lots of podcasts coming up. And thanks for hopping on for this one. Relatively quick little. I guess it's a recap. I should label it as a recap of day 1 of the draft. But we also talked about the Cubs. So I will see you guys soon. And if you don't subscribe to the newsletter, go to the newsletter and subscribe, because I need the cash. All right. Thanks.
Many of us have herpes.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.
It's fitting. It's got to be done with one of the best games of all time. Just unbelievable. Got to congratulate the Dillon family.
Thank you. Sean, my podcast co-host Andy, you were his favorite player growing up.
Oh, thank you so much.
Awesome.